Beautiful people, we're live. Here we go, Stevie. We're live.
Hey guys, back again on a lovely Monday evening.
It's big, guys. Big news tonight. We want to talk about this. The media's gone bananas in the last couple of weeks. What's being reported, particularly the last couple of days, actually, what's being reported is huge capital growth in the marketplace.
Yep.
And what I'm seeing people do, some people are embracing it. Some people are bagging it. Some people say, look, it's bullshit. It's only temporary. Nothing really is going to happen. And some people say, look, this is fantastic. We are excited, and we think this is the saving of a terrible shit property market in the last 10 months, 20 months.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Steve?
I think so too. And look, some really good things to talk about tonight. So we're obviously going to talk about, one is that market just outperformed. Two is what has been put in place. So the coalition government made some big promises around election time, and they're fulfilling some of those. So we're going to talk about that. But I agree, we are starting to see some phenomenal sales just in our area, and I'm sure that translates across most of Sydney and even other parts of New South Wales. But the market's on the move.
Stuff that wasn't selling or could not sell is now selling, which is really exciting.
And selling well.
Big prices. Today we had a couple of offers accepted, and mate, these prices are getting accepted. It's just really surprising.
Yeah.
Now let's first of all, the thing that got me really excited, which I heard news on, which was only I think it was Thursday, Friday that came through. Sydney, 1 month, 1.7% capital growth.
Wow.
1 month.
Massive.
So let's translate that out to, if it does that every month for the next year, that's a 20% growth in the marketplace. A 20% growth in the marketplace on its way.
Yep.
That's just what the last month has done.
Yeah, wow.
It's official. It's Sydney. It's RP Data. RP Data is the biggest data company in the country. 1.7% capital growth for Sydney. Huge. The last quarter, 5% capital growth. 5% capital growth for Sydney in the last quarter. Average median value in Sydney sitting at $817,000.
Wow.
Aggregating all the houses, aggregating all the units, 817 is the median value of a property. Melbourne's done similar. Brisbane's done shit. Adelaide, garbage. Nada. Darwin, nada. Canberra, nada. So the big star players in Australia at the moment are Sydney and Melbourne, which have both in the last quarter done 5 or 5.5% in capital growth. Again, on a million bucks, it's gone up 50 grand.
It's huge.
Big question.
Yeah.
What's that going to be? Where's the market going?
They are big questions. And I mean, if you follow this, it's only getting stronger. And if you follow what's about to come ahead, I think that there's going to be, particularly this first home bracket, which we're going to talk about now in a bit of depth, is really going to get active, and you're going to start to see that effect push on, from bracket to bracket and quarter to quarter, translating, into sales throughout probably a lot of different price points.
Go to a drum roll. Do one.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. So I want to roll up my sleeves.
Go. Get business. This is business now.
It's getting really serious now. Okay. So let's talk about this as real estate agents, because we hear the negative people, we hear the positive people.
Oh, this is serious. This man never takes his tie off at work. Never. This is the first time in 13 years I've seen him take a tie off at work.
This conversation doesn't excite Lisa Novak, but this conversation excites me. She doesn't like when I talk data, but this is big news. You know what, Steve? It's serious because when people lost 10 or 20% capital growth, that really messes with your head.
Yeah.
Something that was so solid and so sacred for us was always our homes. Do you know what I mean? So when you take that away, when you erode value in my biggest asset, you're really hitting me where it hurts.
Yeah.
So
it's top of mind. You're there every day. It's something you pride yourself on. So,
yeah. but I'm really, but when I see 20% down, I just lost 200 grand or 100 grand. When I see 5% up just in 3 months, I think to myself, you know what, maybe I'm not crazy. People often think of the short term.
Yeah.
People often think of the short term. That's a big one.
Good
A big one. The future of where it's going is very exciting, man. Let's talk about that. Now, guys, we can't forget something that I also brought in today. And, you know, where last time we had a downturn in the property market, you've got to remember this, guys. Last time we had a downturn in the property market, it was uncontrollable, and it was not as a result of us. It was called the GFC. We were looking to China. We were looking to America.
Yeah.
We didn't know who to blame. We didn't know why it was happening. We're looking to our stock market shitting itself, and we didn't know what to do. That could equate to negative growth in property, and that you could point the finger at and say, oh,
That's why.
that's why.
Yeah.
Now, what happened recently was it was completely manufactured by our friends at government tightening up lending. It was completely manufactured by our friends in government doing the Royal Commission. And I think that was a controlled environment where we had negative growth. Now, what I like it when it's a controlled environment is if it's a controlled environment with property market being corrected or the property market coming down or the hot air coming out of the market, I like it because the government knows the triggers. If you know the triggers to pull the market back, well, you'd like to think they know the triggers to push the market forward.
Yeah.
So what they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, I like to put the analogy of it's like a car radio. You want to turn the sound down, you just turn it one way. You want to turn it up, and turn it the other way. And what they've done now, what they're going to be doing, I should say from the 1st of January now in 2020, they're really going to be focusing on helping first home buyers get into the marketplace. And they've got 2 major strategies that they're promoting at the moment to do so with it. Oh, sorry, before we jump to that, we're going to talk about interest rates.
That was the first trigger.
First.
So I think the first thing these guys did, before this stuff, they did the rates.
Yeah.
So with the rates, okay, we did some research on rates. We're not mortgage brokers, and these are probably bad rates to fly around because they've got hooks and sinkers and everything on them. But the rates we saw in our research is 2.84, 2.84, 2.88, 2.99 rates available in the marketplace. People like TikTok, no idea. Bank, don't know who they are. But then when you go further down that list, you've got Commonwealth Bank and NAB and people like that. Now, they're bloody cheap rates.
They're good rates. They're the best rates we've seen. God, I can't remember.
Right. I brought my calculator in just to give you some rates. Where is it? Not here. Now, I know Lisa Novak also likes when I bring a calculator in, so this is for her tonight. The rates, if you are buying a unit for $550,000, you are having to pay back the bank $15,000, $18,000. That's interest only, obviously, but that's what you're paying these guys back. Now, your rent is cheaper, is more expensive than actually buying it. So, guys, that's the first thing that our friends at government did. The first thing our friends at government did was super low rates, introducing to that, and as a result, that's introduced capital growth back into our market.
Fantastic. So that was step 1, and probably the most vital step because that's felt across all different, price points, different brackets.
Yep.
Every type of real estate, can take advantage of that.
And you know what? People are paying their loans back.
Yeah.
So what's actually happened is people haven't taken that money and purchased it on a car stereo. Those days are over. They haven't purchased it on holidays. They haven't taken it to the casino. People have taken that money and slammed it down on their mortgages, slammed it down on their credit card. So it's actually any change that's come out of what's evidence now is any change that's coming out of those really low interest rates that people have that have mortgages. They're plowing to pay down their mortgage. They're plowing it to pay down their cards.
Yeah.
They're plowing. They're getting rid of bad debt.
Yeah.
Government's doing a good thing.
Well, what do you
I'm
think?
bashing them. I'm bashing the government all the time, but
maybe that was what their end goal was.
Maybe it was. So, so we started with negative capital growth. The handbrake got pulled up.
Yep.
The handbrake got eased down with reduction of rates.
Yep.
Then we started seeing good capital growth come back in the market, which we're seeing just now, hot off the press.
Yep.
Then what?
And now there's all these talks coming through. So really trying to promote that first home buyer demographic. So targeting real estate, under the price point of really 700,000, I think is their sweet spot. We're really going to benefit under 800,000. So the coalition made some promises come election time, and really what they were promoting on the property side was helping people get into real estate. We always hear about this affordable housing term that's thrown around, but buying your home, I mean, it is such a significant life event. It's a really big thing. Everyone remembers it, their first home. So chances are you've probably been saving for quite a while now to come up with the money. So what is going to occur come the 1st of January are 2 initiatives now by the government to put in place to help us buy. And what they are,
That's first. And that's now.
Yeah. So the first one, well, you're right. There's initiatives already in place for first home buyers.
Yep.
We'll cover on those maybe really quickly.
Yep.
You've got stamp duty exemptions.
They fucking hate, sorry, they hate an investor.
Oh, yeah.
The government is saying, if you want your 3rd property, Mr. Investor, if you want your 4th property investor, we're going to make it really, 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 really hard to get a loan.
Yeah.
Really hard. They don't like it.
No.
But they love
the first home buyer.
They love it.
Yep.
First home buyer, they love you, number one. One home owner, don't own an investment property, the government loves you, number 2.
Yeah.
Own a 2nd property or 3rd property and trying to get a loan, you are officially a leper.
Yep.
You have got a disease and the government does not like the disease that you have. But
it's called owning too much real estate.
But if you want to hold it,
yep,
they'll give you a cheap interest rate.
Yeah.
But if everyone's forgotten about this, what happened? Can I do a sound effect?
Go.
Ready? Chirping. Here we go. Laughter. Trumpet. Suspense. What happened? And everyone's forgotten about this. What happened to the interest-only loan? The interest-only loan that investors had and that owner-occupiers had have expired, will expire, are expiring at the moment. So at the moment, there's a world load of pain with investors because they're having to pay interest only previously and now principal and interest. Now, the good news is for these leper investors that own 2 properties, 3 properties or more, is they got a super low rate.
Yep.
But when they couple principal into that, they're paying what they paid 2 or 3 years ago. Pretty bloody clever.
Yeah, good.
Government's clever.
Good. So that kept you active.
They got the fat investor paying his debt back. They got the fat investor not paying any more, buying any more property. And they got the fat investor paying land tax.
Yep. They're winning. Well, they are. We'll say that.
So, next thing to talk about.
Can I talk about this now?
Absolutely.
I've been waiting to talk about this.
Absolutely. Which is your first hit?
The first hit. So look, two new schemes coming in, 1st of January 2020, both aimed at helping the first home buyer get in the market. And what they revolve around, one is that 5% deposit. So what does that mean? We'll talk about it. And the second one is being able to access your super,
That's nuts.
Yeah, to purchase the property. So look, I'll cover the first one, that 5% deposit. What does it mean? So look, you've been saving, you've been working hard, putting your money aside, sacrificing, and you're really trying to get yourself in a position to buy a property. Essentially now what they're saying is come the 1st of January, 10,000 of these grants are going to be made available, and that's across the whole of Australia. So understand this, it is a quick thing at the moment. Hopefully it will translate into more, but it's 10,000. There's no special allocations to where you are, to cities, to larger areas, 10,000 across the board. But what they're saying is if you can come up with a 5% deposit, the government is going to guarantee you that 15% to the bank, which means you don't have to pay mortgage insurance.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So that's a saving of what, about $10,000, maybe even more, $15,000.
The government's backing the horse.
The government's backing on a 5% deposit.
On a 5%. The horse they're backing is the the horse our friends at government are backing is the first home buyer horse.
Yep.
They love the first home buyer horse.
And to understand, I mean, to be eligible for this type of a grant, in Sydney, it's for real estate up to the price point of 700,000. Regional New South Wales up to 450,000. So there's a lot of opportunities, even in our marketplace, to take advantage of this. The other thing is, sorry, I was going to come back to is, even if you're in Melbourne, I was going to say, if we've got any interstate watchers tonight, you're also in a good spot. You've got up to 600,000 in the city of Melbourne and 350 regional there. But really what it means is that, the government's going to cover you for that mortgage insurance. They're going to say, hey, Mr. Buyer, come with the 5 and we're going to help you out. But only up to 10,000. And it's not allocated in any specific way yet. So you want to jump onto that as soon as you can.
So Angelo Goodself, everyone, tonight's going to be having a baby.
Yes.
I'd like to announce. He's going to be inducing his wife himself with his bare hands in, I think, Randwick Hospital.
Yeah.
Angelo,
sure.
Angelo, you're watching. What a dedicated real estate agent. And good luck tonight with your little baby girl. Angelo's been with us a very long time, 15, 16 years at Novak. He does have a baby girl. His wife is pregnant. They are having a baby tonight. And good luck to you, buddy. And we're sticking to know her name. So incredible.
Yep.
Lisa Novak is joined, and let's keep chatting.
Was that from Lisa?
No, it was from me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Can I just sum up on that,
Please.
Steve, what you just
There's
mentioned?
more to say, definitely.
Where this has come from, the 5% deposit, is the biggest whine or the biggest complaint or the biggest bugbear that consumers of property have had. What is the government was really trying to stimulate the first home buyers to start healthy saving patterns, to start healthy buying a property and forcing to pay back a mortgage is very important for our government. Home property ownership in Australia is one of the highest in the world because our government respects this and promotes this. That's why this 5% puppy has been introduced. So friends, if you've got friends or family, tag them in tonight. The young ones, 10 that have been working for 5 years or 10 years and just couldn't get ahead. They save a little bit, the market goes up. They save a little bit, the market goes up, and they can never actually buy to get to the 10 or 20% deposit. This is big.
Yeah.
So if you have, at the moment, you can buy a property in DY for 550K.
Yeah.
A 5% deposit represents 26K. If you can save 25 or 26K in January, you can buy a property with no stamp duty.
No stamp duty. It's under 650,000.
So stamp duty is normally going to be about 15, 20 grand. No stamp duty, just your 5% deposit.
Yep.
The government's going to back you. The banks are going to back you. That's a big one.
For the first 10,000. So jump in.
That's a big one.
You've got to get ready for it.
And we're going to put the links in for all this so you can do a little bit more research.
Yep.
Now, it gets even sexier. All roads lead back to Rome. So after we tell you this about super, we're going to tell you more about the property market. So hold on, because this is going to tie into our last piece of the puzzle.
Yep.
Tell us about super.
So super. So for the first, well, it's not for the first time. It's actually been out for a while now.
You could buy it for commercial.
Yep.
You could use your super for commercial.
Yep.
You could use your super for residential.
Yeah. Self-managed super.
Self-managed super.
What was the deal behind it was that any income or any profit earned from that was to be reinvested back into your super fund.
But you could never buy it and live in it.
Never live in it.
But you can now.
Now you can.
How?
So what they're going to be talking about is using your savings. So the savings, let me get this right, Mark, is that if you contribute up to 15,000 into your own self super contributions.
Yep.
Am I right in saying that the government's going to put another 15?
No.
No? Oh, I thought that was going to be the case.
This is guessing competition.
I was looking for, no, I wasn't sure about it. I was wondering if you put in 15, are they going to match you dollar for dollar?
Nope. Yeah. So what they're going to do is So you put 9.5% of your super in regularly, yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone puts in 9.5. So let's say you're a bit of a weapon and you're 22, you're 25. Age is irrelevant, but I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And you make 100 grand, 125 grand.
Yeah.
But you got to pay the government 40% tax, 35%,
right.
45% tax. Now you can go along here and say, I don't want to take the money. I don't want to pay the tax and take the money. Mr. Employer, put 15,000 into my super. The next year, if you want, put another 15,000 towards my super. If you've got 30 grand or 15 grand in your super of voluntary contributions, which means you took it out at a very low tax rate, if you've got that, you can use that towards your deposit.
Yeah, wow. It's got to be voluntary contributions.
Got to be voluntary, can't be the 9.25. From my understanding, I may be wrong, rely on your own inquiries. So what that means is first home buyers, couples, singles, anyone can take their super and form that as part of their deposit and go and buy a property with a small deposit, live in it.
Yeah.
That's never been done before.
Never, first time.
That's never been done before.
Yep.
Bit of applause for the government there. Okay, Lisa Novak, she says, last time the home stimulus was in the market, it went bananas. Fact. Buy up now, guys. That section of the market will go through the fact. Yep. Isn't that true?
Yep.
So, recapping on where we're going with this, as a summation of everything, first home buyers can now use superannuation to purchase a property. First home buyers can now use first of January, they can use 5%.
Yep.
Rates are sitting at 2.89%, lowest in history. Capital growth has started to go up as much as 5% in the last quarter, 2% in the last, 1.8% the last month.
Yep.
Now, what are we going to finish off on? Drum roll. What's the market going to do?
I think when you put all these points together, which price point in the market is going to be the most heavily targeted? Like, where's the bullseye? When you put all these factors together, you've got to say that real estate really up to that 750,000 price point. I mean, in the Sydney markets, we'll say, is going to pop. It's going to go bananas. So really, if you own some real estate in that price, what are we going to say?
Don't sell.
We say sell it, but now we're like, keep it.
Hey, when does an agent ever tell you not to sell? We're telling you tonight.
It's going to go up.
If you're up to 750K, don't sell this year.
Yeah. And this is why all of these factors are really going to contribute that. They're going to turn the wheels in your $700,000 to $750,000 property. And then if you're not in that sector, don't worry, because that's going to fuel the next quarter into your 800,000 to 900,000, up to your millions, and starting, and the whole property cycle is going to turn.
Bloody huge.
That's what I think. Is
bloody huge. I reckon absolutely, man. Yeah. Now, if you're buying under 750, 700, buy now.
Yeah. Buy now. 100%.
Seriously.
I agree.
Because if
yeah.
Because if you're going to be paying more.
You're going to pay more in 3 months' time. Why not buy now? Take advantage. You'll make that money in 3 months.
Guys, let's do the maths.
Rather than pay more.
It's done 5% in a quarter. A first home buyer is now paying 25 grand more than they would have paid 3 months ago.
Yep.
If the market continues without any stimulus at 5%, your first home buyer is going to pay 25 grand more.
Monster.
They're not even going to have that deposit ready.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, no.
So, and if it gets stimulated further because they can use their super, if it gets stimulated further because they can use the 5% deposit, you're talking about the market potentially going up 10% over the next quarter or two. If the market does that, it's 50 grand more for a little one-bedroom unit in an area.
Yeah.
Off the back of the incentives, off the back of low interest rates. I would be buying now, and if I was selling, I would be waiting for 3 to 6 months to sell under 700 grand.
Yep.
That's awful for an agent to recommend people not to sell. That's
so
like
buy, but don't sell.
Buy. That's dirty. All right. So that's a good summation, Steve. So the market. So okay, another thing I want to add is the kick-on effect. Every time we see the market pump in the lower price range, it knocks up to the next price range. 3 months later, it knocks up to the next price range. So guys and girls that are sitting in something between 750 to $1 million, you're going to feel some capital growth shortly after the first home buyer capital growth incentives. So as soon as that price range kicks in that sub 700K, then after that, you're going to, all those people selling those properties will be
Ready.
Buying into the next price range, kicking the next price range. Then what happens there? All the people selling in that price range are buying in the next price range as well. So, funny. So, guys, that's a good summation. I think it's a bit of a open heart surgery on the property market to look inside and say, what have we got here? They're all the vital organs that are pumping at the moment in the body. And I think we're really pumping up a good, healthy property market. I had a very negative person this morning on social media that I was entertaining, saying that this is a bump in the market and we're still going to oblivion. I have never seen the property market go like this. All the property market does is bell curves. It bell curves slowly with years in between the bell curves. So I think for the market to go bell curve up and then shit itself down, it's not the stock market, it's the property market.
But yeah, exciting times ahead.
What are our friends saying out there?
What
guys, hey, let's see if we've got any comments. If you've got any questions for us, let us know. Out there, we get a lot of private messages coming through, so send that through. And if you want us to cover any topics, guys and girls, on property, on the Northern Beaches, let us know as well. But a lot of this stuff is translatable across New South Wales, across the country, because all of these elements, all these critical things, these interest rates and incentives, they're applicable throughout the country.
For everybody, that's right.
But Sydney's always first to feel the best.
Yeah.
Melbourne's looking that way as well.
Yeah, you're doing well in Melbourne too.
You're doing well. Take care, guys. Love you.
Thank you.
Anything else, Steve?
No, thank you everyone for viewing again, and we look forward to seeing you out and about in the real estate world.
Big time.
Thanks,
See you guys. Happy
Cheers.
help you tonight.
Bye-bye.
See you later.